Hello, and welcome to the second floor of the Upton House Museum. I'm Karen Turk, the local history and archives librarian with the Sterling Heights Public Library. Today, I will be taking you on a tour of 5 themed rooms that will help us to better understand our community from its beginnings as a township to its incorporation as a city in 1968. Our first stop is the playroom. Among our collection of vintage toys is this handmade wooden dollhouse. It belonged to a relative of the Upton family by the name of Maud E. Upton. Maud lived from 1908 until 1979. Her father, Ed Upton, built the house for her over 100 years ago in 1914. The ornate dollhouse was donated to the Upton House by Maud's cousin, Carol Jensen Shaner, and Carol's daughter, Julie. Our next stop is the Community Life Room. One of the most noticeable objects in this room is this section of timber, unearthed in 2004. The timber is a remnant of the ill-fated Clinton-Kalamazoo Canal. Before railroads became a popular form of transportation, a canal was planned for travel from Mount Clemens to Saugatuck, connecting the Clinton and Kalamazoo rivers. Digging started in 1838. Unfortunately, by 1843, funds had dried up and the project was terminated. On the other side of the room, we have antique desks made of cast iron and wood. These desks are an homage to the one-room schoolhouses found in Sterling Township in the late 1800s and early 1900s. 2 of those schools, Plumbrook School and Maple Grove School, served students who were just beginning to learn through those in 8th grade. Desks could accommodate 1 or 2 students depending on their size. Our next stop is the Home Life Room. It contains objects related to farm and domestic life throughout the 19th and 20th centuries. This oxen yoke was found by the Harvey family in an old barn, originally owned by the Woodbridge family. It's possible it was used by the Woodbridge family during their journey from the east to Michigan in 1823, before the Erie Canal was opened. The Woodbridge Harvey farm was located south of 19 Mile on Clinton River Road. This shoulder yoke was donated by local historian Debbie Reamer. It was owned by her forebears Lydia and Theodore Reamer from Shelby Township. It was used to carry pails of maple sap from the woods. The sap would then be boiled to make maple syrup. Debbie recalls it being used by her family well into the 1960s. Over here, we have some of the equipment that would have been used to maintain the household. In this corner, we have a wash tub. Victorians would boil any white pieces of clothing they owned in a wash tub similar to this, agitating them with a large paddle. Part of their process was to blue the laundry. Blue powder, such as this, was added to the water to keep their garments pristine. The hint of blue counteracts any yellowing of the clothing. Our next room is the Family Chronicles room. It contains photographs and objects related to the farm families who lived here, the Uptons, the Aarons, and the Helps. Here, we have the only object in the home that the Uptons actually owned. Donated to the Upton House Museum by Sarah and William Upton's great-great-granddaughter, Lois Ulrich, this Victorian lamp is in the hurricane style. At some point, it was converted into an electric lamp. During library renovations, we uncovered some records from when Sterling used to be a township. Among those records were death registries. We know that life was tough in the late 1800s, and these archived death registries clearly illustrate the hardships homesteaders faced. Deaths from farming accidents, La Grippa or the flu, and consumption, as tuberculosis was then known, were common. Next, we have the Civics Room. This room tells us about when the city became incorporated in 1968. Sterling Township became a city in 1968 after a determined campaign. The current City Hall was dedicated in May of 1969. Today, the Sterling Heights Civic Center is named for Richard J. Noddy. Noddy served as a city council member starting in 1984. He became mayor in 1994 and was elected to 11 two-year terms. Noddy passed away in 2014. Mayor Noddy was known in the community for his jovial spirit and his stylish fedoras. Thank you for visiting the Upton House Museum today. We're open for tours by reservation Wednesday afternoons, 1 to 4 p.m., and the second Sunday of the month, 1 to 4 p.m. We hope to see you again soon.